Okay, okay, cool.
Think about it. Take me a minute and a half to disarm this thing and I know what I'm doing. Do you? Huh? Or you think your bomb squad's gonna show up in time? I don't. Yeah, instead of killing 250 people on a plane, you wanna kill 5,000 in an airport? Probably closer to 10,000? That's the thing with numbers. There's always one larger, remember? Come here. Your father was right. People tell you who they are long before they open up their mouths. You know what you told me? That you're pathetic and you're asleep. You're someone that's so afraid to make a mistake, you're willing to let the whole world pass you by. That's how I knew you were my guy. Get up!
I failed the polygraph test.
What's that?
That's why I didn't get into the academy. I lied on the polygraph.
Oh yeah, what'd you lie about? Speak up.
It was a wildly entertaining, engaging script. And it's not something I've done before. And if I'm completely candid and honest, I wouldn't say that this type of action thriller is something that I am always immediately drawn to. But I saw the pedigree of the people involved on the email that comes in from your agent, and I gave it a read, and I just felt it had something fresh to it. It's the movie begins in a sort of seemingly ordinary day in the life of a regular Joe, and then it becomes an extraordinary day very, very quickly. And I found something of that, the setting up of it and the premise of it being a kind of almost like a slice of life. I just thought, well, that's cool, because this is an everyday guy who becomes someone quite extraordinary through necessity. And I liked the fact that the character is both extremely pedestrian, but also becomes kind of extremely special over the course of the day.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
Airports turn some people into such dickheads.
Oh, shh.
Tell me, which way is it to the elevators?
It's over here.
I was attracted to do this job because I don't get a chance to play a bad guy that often, mostly because I don't think I'm super believable as a bad guy, and this bad guy isn't really kind of the petting the white cat, twisting the mustache type of bad guy. He literally says in the script something like, you know, I'm not your typical movie kind of bad guy. I'm just like you and me. I've just got a job to do, and you're going to help me do it. You know, that type of approach to it. So it's a bit more modern, and something that I could stomach. Hopefully the audience will too.
I don't understand. Why would you do that? Ethan, I need you to talk to me.
One word and she dies. You have 3 seconds to back away, or a .30 caliber round will travel 3,000 feet per second and paint the wall with her brain. 3, 2, walk away.
So you're just walking away? Ethan! I've always been drawn to complex and interesting female characters and the stories and the world in which they live in, and Nora stood out to me from the moment I started reading Carry On. You know, I loved that it was a thriller, it was an action movie, but our leading lady was never a damsel in distress, how in so many action movies in the past we've always seen them written as. She's this confident, fearless, brave young woman. And I was so drawn to her self-assurance, to her confidence, to her fearlessness to go after everything that she wants in life. You know, she's 29, she's the director of operations of LAX, one of the biggest airports in the world. She's in charge of 131 people. She has a beautiful relationship with a man that she loves. They're expecting a baby. She wants it all, and she's doing it all.
Nope, I know.
Carson, did you show him where the gun?
So for gun dynamics, oh, like this?
That's fine. Yeah, yeah.
Action. And 2, 1, hit. Go. And look. Boom, we're struggling. And go. Bam, bam, bam. And steer away, hold it, and look. That's it. Boom, we're fighting. And left. And right. Pushing in, go. Bam, good. Fighting, fighting, and steer. And go. Steering a little bit, grab her. 1, 2, go. Good, hold, and look. Good. And left. And hit. That's it. Action! Bang! 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 And stop.
Physicality is a major part of any kind of performance art, I think. And as each character's role has a way of being, and so I think that's one of the most appealing things to me about the film. Like that fight choreography and fight choreography is just movement of a sort, right? It's timed in a certain kind of way. I'm attracted to that. I'm a dancer first, and so all of that feels like that musical movement of bodies together is intriguing, and so that was a major pull for me to be a part of the work.
Sofia Carson plays my girlfriend Nora in the movie, and she, when we meet these two characters, she's in a very different spot. They've just discovered they're pregnant, and while he is excited about it, I think that moment in his life has shone a light on the fact that he is not really kind of at that, I mean, whoever is ready to have children, but he certainly doesn't feel ready because he doesn't feel totally happy in his skin and where he is. Whereas Nora's character, Sofia's character of Nora rather, she's a real go-getter, high achieving, has a managerial position at the airport, completely loves her job, is very, very satisfied. And there's, you know, he's proud of her and pleased for her, but I think possibly on some level, you know, makes him feel like it just serves to highlight the fact that he's not where he should be. And Sofia's, you know, she's wonderful in the role. She's such a kind of, she's such a certain kind of strong presence that she's ideal casting for a role like that. She's a real high-flying individual herself.
I've always had a respect and an appreciation for what the TSA workers are doing in our airports. This confirms, you know, that they are people like us and that they have jobs like us and that they, you know, you sort of, I guess the instinct as a traveler is to kind of ignore them and just get on the plane and get to your destination and try to ignore the perceived inconvenience of what they're doing, and then also it's sometimes a little scary to think about what it is they're doing, you know, preventing danger and tragedy and crime. And so it's nice to do something where, you know, not to give away the ending, but, you know, that put them in a bit of a heroic light.
That's not what you really wanted to ask.
What do I want to ask?
Come on, you've been wanting to ask since we started, so go ahead and ask.
Are you a terrorist?
No.
My mind was blown when I arrived at the airport. I don't know what I expected, but I arrived and it was an airport. And I sort of traveled around the whole thing saying, so is that set? Is that set? And the answer was constantly yes. They just dressed an airport. It's a huge decommissioned wing of Louis Armstrong in New Orleans. And you just couldn't build it. You couldn't build a set like that. It's extraordinary.
It's really fortunate that there was an airport that wasn't being used in this country. We're down here in New Orleans. It was originally written for New Jersey, and then it was changed to Los Angeles. This airport has been adjusted a bit to reflect some LAX signage and whatnot, and it's just really, really lucky that an environment as massive as an airport is, it'd just sort of be cost prohibitive to have to build something like that, and obviously impractical to shut down a real airport. So the fact that this airport is just recently been kind of closed down because we've got a newer New Orleans airport just across the way, it was perfect for this production.
72 Baker, take one.
3 cameras, A mark? B mark.
So, what was your news? I need good news.
It doesn't matter now.
Oh, come on, Kopek, give me some light. This movie does carry a tremendous amount of tension, and that's part of the beauty of this film, is that with every frame, you have no idea what's going to happen next in the most terrifying yet exciting way. So it is our job as actors to kind of be in that mind frame every day and to kind of keep that adrenaline rushing. It's almost like being at, how does Taron describe it? It's like he's about to have a heart attack at any moment in the day. You know, he's like constantly on edge, especially his character. So it is interesting and a challenge as an actor to be able to be at that level constantly. But of course the action does a lot of that work because the action sequences are just spectacular. They're so complex, and the skill and the scale that it takes to bring them to life is truly spectacular. And you know, I know Jaume also wanted to use camera work that hadn't really been typically used before in action films, so it was cool to see his vision for that as well as his expectations for the action was like through the roof, because that's what he does. Like, Jaume does action movies.
Ethan, Nora, Elena, they've got their own things. They're moving down their own kind of pipelines, and they're riding side by side. It's a kind of trio of how a story is told, and not a subplot, but these things are interconnected, and you're seeing how each character's dynamic is rolling down the way together. So it's just. It's almost like, you know, being in an airplane. You're in a tube together, but everybody's having their own individual experience, and that's the way it was shot, right? Like, I didn't interact with everybody else's track until it was necessary for those tracks to intersect.
I think audiences will feel when they watch this, one, it's got, I hope, that sense of Christmas movie, but not Christmas movie. Like, you know, a bit like Die Hard, I hope. That's what we hope for. And it just clicks into gear straight away. This movie goes from 0 to 60 in no time at all. And my experience of reading the script was that once I started, I couldn't put it down, and I immediately went back to the beginning. And I hope and suspect the experience of watching the movie will be the same. I also hope we've infused it with some heart and some emotionality. It's a difficult day at the office for Ethan, you know? So not only is he forced into incredibly action-packed situations, it's a real sort of journey for him as a young man as well. And hopefully that has some resonance too. You know, in my career as an actor, I've been involved in things that I have felt excited about watching and things that I've felt maybe slightly less excited about watching. And this absolutely falls into the category of something I am very excited about watching. I'm hoping it's going to be a good film.